So my first experience with Coast was actually from a while ago with these cheaper knives. This is one of them. And I just had a couple cheap Coast pocket knives that I got as Christmas gifts from value packs from Home Depot. And, they're all right. They're just cheap knives, they'll cut. But that's what I always thought of Coast. I never thought too much of them. Turns out they're actually a flashlight company. So today I have this flashlight to show. I'm going to review it a little bit. I've been using it for a little bit now. This is called the XP11r, and I initially got some interest in it because the Torque Test channel did a video comparing flashlights, and this flashlight, during that test, during the durability test, survived quite a long time, like considerably more than some of the other lights on the drop test, where you had to literally spike it on the ground multiple times to finally break it. So apparently it's a very durable light. And I also really liked the look of it. I like the look of this texture here. Obviously you get Coast's signature red circle near the back. There's a couple versions. The newest one is a max of 2600 lumens, which is quite a lot. But that 2600 comes from a turbo mode, which is actually limited in its runtime. And we'll explain that going through the modes. And yeah, it does have modes. And I'm going to get into two major flaws I have with the flashlight. Those two flaws really make or break a flashlight, and these are a little bit more on the side of break. So we'll get into it. So first, it has three modes, well actually four modes, but there's three modes. Medium, which is 330 lumens, or around 300 something lumens, and that's 7 hours 15 minutes. Second mode is 1000 lumens, and that's for 5 hours. And the third mode is 100 lumens for 37 hours. So you're getting really good runtime on that. Now, if you hold down the button, you'll get 2600 lumens. And after 30 seconds, it'll step down back to the mode you already had it on. Okay? And you'll notice in the back, the button here, when you click it, it'll show green. So when your charge is all good, it'll show green, and when it needs charge, it'll turn red, and it'll blink red when you're basically about to run out of battery. And when you're charging it up, it'll be red while it's charging, and then it'll turn green when it's done charging. To charge, you unscrew the back here, and you can see a USB-C port, and you could charge it that way while the battery is in the light, or you can take that off and the battery itself comes out. This is the Xitheon X ZX1000, 4000 milliamp hour battery, 3.7 volts. And this also has a USB-C port on it with a light, and you can just charge the battery too. It also came with a little tray to throw in, and you can throw, I think it's 3 AAAs, and you can run it on standard batteries too, AAA batteries, if maybe you can't charge it at that time, or just want to run it with replaceable batteries. This flashlight also features a slide focus on the top. When it's all the way back, it's in a flood mode, and when you pull it forward, it turns to a throw. So that's on throw mode, and as I push the head back, you can see how it changes the beam pattern. That's actually kind of a nice feature. It's very floody, and then the throw is pretty solid. It goes down to a tight hot spot, so you really get to choose, if you want flood or throw. So it's really nice in that regard. When it's all the way out, there's a little bit of movement there, so it doesn't feel the most robust. And also there's a locking feature where you twist the head and you can hear the click, and that's supposed to lock it. So this is unlocked, right? And that's locked, but you could see I could still push it and pull it pretty easily. So it doesn't really lock it that well. That's not the flaw though. That's just, whatever. But let's get into the actual flaw of the light. Why I don't love the light, but it's not that big of a problem for a lot of instances, but sometimes it is annoying. This flashlight has those modes, like I said, medium, high to low. On the back, this is problem number one. There's no momentary. There's no momentary where you can put a little bit of pressure on it. It's a click. So there's no, you can't just hold it down for a second, have the light, and then let go. You actually have to click it and turn the light on. And then to turn the light off, you'd click it again. But here comes the next problem, which plays into not having a momentary, is it switches the modes. Click, 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 right? You have to click through 4 times from on and then off. Now, it's not completely bad because you have 5 seconds. If the light's on for 5 seconds, it won't need to go through all the modes to turn off. So if you have the light on for more than 5 seconds, that's not a problem. You just get it to whatever mode you want. You wait your 5 seconds, or, if you're just going around using this light a little bit and then you turn it off, the light turns off. There's a lot of instances where you only want light for 1 second. A lot of times when I pull a flashlight out, I just want a flash of light for like 1 second just to see something real quick, and then I'm good. On this one, you're like, okay, I saw what I need to see, now you turn it off. Oh, you go to high mode, you go to low mode, and then you go off. If you just want light for like 1 or 2 seconds, even 3 or 4 seconds, and you don't wait until the 5th, you're gonna end up going through the modes and you have to click it 4 times to turn it off. And it does get a little bit annoying, which is why not having momentary is kind of an issue here, because if it had momentary, you wouldn't have to worry about switching through the modes. If you wanted a little bit of light, you would just put a little bit of pressure on and you'd get the light, and then you could release and the light would go off again. But nope, you gotta click it. So that's a little bit annoying. I'm really not a big fan of all that. But otherwise, if you're just using it at night or using it in the dark, you're probably gonna have the light on for more than 5 seconds. Or if you're really looking at something for a little bit of time, studying something, you probably have the light on for more than 5 seconds. So it's not gonna be that big of a problem. So the size of the light, it's kind of an interesting size. It's just about that size where, it feels nice in the hand when you're using it. It's just a little bit too big for a pocket. So if you really want to carry this around, you could carry it in like a cargo pant pocket, a large pocket. You definitely fit it in there, but normally you'd probably want to buy a holster for it, and they do actually make a holster compatible for this specific light. On the back, it's got this little lanyard thing where you can put one of those wrist straps, and I don't have that on there. I didn't want to put that on. That actually stops it from rolling, so that's pretty nice. It has a good texture. It feels really durable, and it feels solid. Like, the light does feel really solid. It's about 5.7 ounces. And the waterproofing, it's rated IP54, which means it's going to have dust protection. Waterproofing is not that good on it, though. I mean, an IPX4 rating is not that great for water. That just means that it's protected from splashing and stuff like that. IPX4 products and IP54 products, they're not recommended to have out in rain. So, if they get rained on or dunked in water, they're not protected from that. So I would be pretty careful about that. That might be in part to like the slide feature. That probably makes it a little more susceptible to getting water into the light itself, into the mechanism there. The front of the light, it's got a Coast in writing. You get your LED. Now, it's actually kind of interesting because on this light, and I noticed on a lot of new flashlights, there's not really a reflector. It's just white, and you have the LED. The throw and the beam pattern, it all comes from a spherical lens there. But you can see the effect of the zooming in and out. That's on flood mode, and that is the throw mode. And coming to the price of this light is around $50 to $60. And you can pick them up at Home Depot. They're on Amazon. It's not a bad light. I use it a lot, especially outside and stuff, and around the house. And Coast has been making flashlights for a long time, so I think they do make a good product. I got another small one from a small AAA one. That one's pretty decent too. They are made in China. They're designed in Portland, but they are made in China. So keep that in mind too. That's pretty much it. That's just me covering this Coast light that I've been using for a little bit. Got a couple gripes with it, but overall I think it's a pretty decent light. So like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. I'll see you next time.